Well, I can answer that for Chris. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer. It will be.
Our president will respond to you.
Yeah, let me.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me.
Influence, move with a practice grin, shaking hands with the lights that dim. The White House walls heard his claim to fame, but the shadows whispered a different name. Oh, am I false? So what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You played the game but lost your way. Now the world sees the price you pay. Pretending blind to the cries at home, while the streets of SA ache and moan. Right, the man with the golden hue, but the deal fell flat and the lies broke through. Oh, am I fool? So what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You played the game but lost your way. Now the world sees the price you pay. Closed doors, the mask came off. No suits, no ties, just shadows aloft. The past screams loud from a buried ground. Now the silence breaks with a deafening sound. Oh, am I fool? So what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You played the game but lost your way. Now the world sees the price you pay. What's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. The horrors rise from a nation torn. Whispers turn to cries of scorn. History's weight won't stay concealed. Every wound must one day heal. Oh, am I fool? So what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You played the game but lost your way. Now the world sees the price you pay. What's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You pay.
And they're doing precisely what we said we as South Africans should not do. We should stop running to other countries. We should discuss our own problems here.
A land of gold sunsets and skies so blue. Mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies, they weave, then weave. But we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall. For the power is the people above it all. We know.
Good evening, America. Unless you're watching from California, then maybe not so good. Just kidding. Sort of, it's your favorite president, some say the best ever. And tonight, I've got a few things to say. So grab your popcorn, turn off the fake news, and let's talk about what's really going on. It's going to be good, really good.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hey folks, grab your popcorn. It's your favorite president. Some say the best ever. Welcome back to the program. All the Neanderthals, canines, right-wing podcasters, all the aspiring car guards, and anyone else who's watching the program today, including the Haywankers. Welcome to everybody. It's a pleasure to have you back. It is the 11th of June, 2025. And here's a message for the Haywankers. Have a nice day. There you go. Anyway, busy morning here, folks. As always, Wednesdays are always busy, but especially lots of news breaking. I did a video earlier about a fake news story. Not that's true news, but it's a fake story by a government member of the ANC lying about white genocide and lying about farms and land restitution. And I haven't even had a chance to edit it yet. I've been that busy with breaking news. For those who didn't catch my video a few minutes ago, I can confirm that interviews will be conducted in Johannesburg going forward. Just a moment here. I got to take this phone. Sorry about that, folks. It's a telemarketer. So anyway, taken care of. So interviews will be conducted in Johannesburg beginning next week. Now, I don't know if that means they won't be conducted in Pretoria anymore or if they'll expand around the country, but I can confirm, and this all started from a couple of people sending me messages asking me if I could confirm that the message they'd received was legitimate from the U.S. government. It appeared to be legitimate, but a screenshot really doesn't help me. I need to actually have the actual email so I can look at the metadata. I didn't have that. So I was able to contact someone that confirmed my information. So I have been able to confirm that, in fact, interviews will begin taking place for the refugee program going forward, starting next week in Johannesburg. So there you go. All right. Got you hopping from one broadcast to another. It's about the fourth one. How have I got you from one broadcast to another, Carolyn? I haven't done any other broadcasts. This is the first stream of the day for me. Are you talking about for my videos I prepared? Yeah, it's just like that all the time. And this isn't even my day job. I'm just dealing with someone in the Veterans Organization announcing they're resigning. So that's a whole other issue I've got to deal with here. So anyway, my blood boiled after Arnaldo's video, that graphic of 80 murders a day and 80 murders a day in many countries is 1 billion people. Yeah, Patrick. No, I mean, I've said this for ages here. You know, when it's a couple of years ago, I had these nonsense, the leftists come on my channel. Oh, you have murders in America. Yeah, we have 16,000 murders in a country threatened 30 million. You have 25,000, now it's 27,000 murders in a country of 63 million. 1/6 the size of ours and 50% more murders. It's astronomically high. And those are the ones we know about. There are a lot of people being killed. What is certified? What is that, Charles? Oh, aspiring car guard. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Certified car guard. Sorry about that. All right, folks. Yeah, so welcome back to the program. It is the 11th of June, 2025, and plenty to get through here. So let me just go straight to the news. At 12 p.m., or excuse me, at 1 p.m., we'll have, of course, over to Ronaldo's Wednesdays with the Colonel. Viewership has slowed down dramatically in the program this past week. I don't know if things are slow or my content is less appealing or what's going on, but we really dropped off a cliff from getting, a couple 100,000 views per day to 50,000 yesterday, or day before yesterday. Yesterday we're back up to 100,000, but probably just because I did so many videos. Gray Man, there's a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Super chat if you want to buy what the telemarketer is selling. No, I don't want to buy what the telemarketer is selling. That's the whole point. I don't want what they're selling. That is the point. Thank you for the 140 Rand. Yeah, they don't understand per capita. Yeah, they don't understand basic math. That's certainly true. Doesn't matter. The U.S. has almost tens of mass shootings only this month in June. You're full of crap. What mass shooting? What mass shooting, Pablo? Stop. You always come in here with your nonsense. It's pretty funny, Pablo. But I do thank you for the other day for backing up what I said and being honest about it. Mass shootings. Give me a freaking break. I've never seen a shooting in my life in America. Seen them elsewhere. Never seen a shooting in my life. I've lived all over this country. I've lived in virtually every one of the lower 48 states. I've been to every one of the lower 48 states and lived in most of them and have never seen a shooting in my entire life. So you make it sound like it's dangerous. No. Look where the shootings are, Pablo Charlie. Start being honest. They're in inner cities for the most part, in places where people have single-parent families, no fathers, no moral values whatsoever, and the crime is against those people for the most part. Yeah. So let's. Whereas in South Africa, you can be a victim of crime no matter where you live. Upscale neighborhoods doesn't matter. At the mall, doesn't matter. Stop. They didn't miss the beard. The beard was trimmed shorter as well. All right, let's get to the news. Also, the little update on Zoe. Apparently, Zoe's hearing is worse than, it's not as simple as they expected. I was a little surprised to hear, maybe we misunderstood what Zoe's mom was talking about, that she needed the operation. Apparently, it looks as though they really hadn't gone in for care, and she was hoping that was the case. I don't know if she's going to be able, so she's going to have to go to specialized school apparently, and she will need a hearing aid, which doesn't surprise me. I thought that was what was going to be all along, but whatever the case is, we do hope that Zoe's hearing is sorted. To the news, ladies and gentlemen, this Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. So let's get straight to it. The leader of the African transformation movement has apparently been ousted, according to News 24. He's been booted. I was just on a panel with him recently. Yeah, I was on a panel with Vuyo Zungula. Vuyo Zungula has been ousted. Vuyo Zungula is ousted as ATM president after discovery of a clause in the party's constitution that links the leadership role with the spiritual leadership of the church's chief apostle. After Zungula's ousting, Chief Apostle Cesar Nonkonko was appointed ATM president with support from church elders and Zungula's father. He remains ATM's leader in parliament. Isn't that interesting? Ousted as president, but remains a leader in parliament. Wow. I'm going to interrupt my news because this person put a big super chat in there to address it. LDDWD says, I'm quite sure my internet connection at home is being censored. I even think a Stingray cell tower emulation is being used. I fear my internet statement won't actually arrive. My work has even figured this out and agrees. I fear targeting. What I'd recommend for you, very simply, is that you go somewhere else. Go to another location, someone you know, someone you trust. You don't have to be on your phone or your computer in order to contact the U.S. government through that website. Go somewhere where you feel comfortable, where you're not going to be censored. Whoever is targeting you, if you've actually legit being targeted, they're not targeting the entire network and everybody on the planet. So You can go somewhere else if you want. You can create a brand new Gmail account, a new email at someone else's computer. All right? And if that even bothers you, and then you can go ahead and fill out your statement of interest. You don't get a return message from the statement of interest. So thank you for the 700 Rand. I appreciate that. VPNs, VPN is one thing, but yeah, it's very easy. Just go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Internet cafe. Yeah, exactly, Alan. Internet cafe. Yep. I don't know if you can find many of those. If you stay in a hotel or something like that and they've got Wi-Fi, use their Wi-Fi. Yep. Use a different device. And as simple as that. So there you have it. All right, so let's get back to the interruption there. So Zungula has been ousted, but he remains their leader in parliament. Interesting. Cyril Ramaphosa and Donald Trump to discuss trade relations at the G7. I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Did South Africa suddenly become one of the largest economies on the planet overnight? Why is Cyril Ramaphosa going to Canada to participate in the G7? He has no business there. South Africa is an also-ran economy, a rounding error in the global scheme of things. Unimportant to any degree whatsoever to virtually anybody outside Southern Africa. Why in the world is Ramaphosa going to Canada and interfering with the G7? You're not a member of the G7 and will never be a member of the G7. Ever, 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 ever. So why is Ramaphosa going there to run his mouth? Oh, Canada invited Ramaphosa. Well, Canada needs to sit down and shut up. President Ramaphosa is set to meet with U.S. President Trump on the sidelines. So why is Trump meeting with him? The meeting will focus on key issues, including AGOA. Okay, see, this is stupid. This is stupid. There is no AGOA. Mashudu Sadike. Did someone in the government tell you that Ramaphosa is going to talk about AGOA? There is no AGOA. It ends 30 September. There is no bill in Congress to reintroduce it. The law is gone. It is a 5-year law renewed every 5 years since 2020. In 2025, it expires on 30 September at the end of our fiscal year. There is no bill in Congress to replace it. So why are you talking about AGOA? This is a journalist? Look, I'm not picking on the guy. Did someone tell you that? You need, if someone told you they're going to talk about AGOA, you need to put it in context. There is no AGOA. Or you just don't understand what AGOA is. It is mind-boggling who passes for journalist in South Africa. And I saw this when I went to the multi-party charter, the whining going on. It was unbelievable. Listening to journalists. Oh, if the DA was running this event, we would have been home by now. It's after 4 o'clock. I have to go home. Oh, look at this. It's terrible food. If the DA was running, we'd have much better food. These are black journalists that don't like the DA, but the DA puts on a good plate when they're there. And this is what they're doing. Oh, I can't believe we're still here. Dude, you are here till the news is here. That's why you're there. That's what a journalist does. You go where the story is. You don't go, well, you know what? It's 2 o'clock. I got to go home, pick my kids up from the creche. It's time to go. No, these aren't journalists. These are Karens. And I'm not picking on this journalist, but Mashudu. Who told you that? And do you know that there is no AGOA? Do you even know the status of AGOA? Do you even know what AGOA is? Unbelievable. Should have given context here. Let me look and see if I missed it, if there's context. Nope, no context about AGOA. No context. It's a good story other than that. He writes a good story. They're informative, but that's not very helpful. Paul Mashatile defends the wasteful spending on travel. Well, the king needs to have luxury when he travels. Yes. The Office of Deputy President Paul Mashatile has defended his international travel expenses, which have sparked criticism. In his reply to Parliament, he provided a breakdown of his international travel costs for transport and accommodation since taking office last year. He has said he has been on international trips to Ireland, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Japan, which cost more than $2 million. During his trip, Mashatile was accompanied by several ministers and deputy ministers, including Gate McKenzie, John Steenhuisen, Nobule Nkabane, Parks Tau, Dande Moraka, and Nomalungu Gina. Will he also defend the assault by his thugs on members of Sandef in Joburg, chasing them off the highway, beating them senseless and unconscious? Will he defend that too? We know that his office lied about him being present. They said, no, he wasn't there. He was. Paul Mashatile was there when they beat those people in the streets. Eastern Cape floods, the death toll climbing in South Africa, folks. Sad news, 18 people as 9 more bodies are found in a village. 9 bodies recovered along the bank of a river in Dekolini near Mtata on Wednesday. Discovery of the bodies increased Eastern Cape's flooding death toll to 18. Premier Oscar Mabuyane and several MECs visited. Careful, guys, there's a young child lying over there, said the Eastern Cape Premier, trying to get attention. The body of a 6-year-old boy was found along the bank of the river just meters away from his homestead. Folks, stop building informal settlements and villages in floodplains. Please, stop. 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 99 Rand Super Chat from Nature's Heaven. 100 Rand, thank you for that Super Chat. Thank you for that very much. Didn't come up on the screen, did it? Huh. Bricks of cocaine worth 18 million Rand seized at the Cape Town Central Business District. Oh, cocaine. Say it ain't so. Ride the white horse, folks. Somebody in Cape Town is riding the white horse. 15 bricks of cocaine worth an estimated 18 million have been seized from several firearms from a storage facility. The police raid on a self-storage facility in Rowland Street also led to the arrest of a 40-year-old man for allegedly dealing in drugs and unlawful possession of unlicensed firearms and ammunition. Armed with intelligence about drugs and firearms being stored at the address, the officers operationalized information and pounced on the self-storage facility where they found the suspect at one of his units. Conducted a search, found 15 bricks of cocaine, about 15 kgs. Estimated street value of 18 million and 1 AK-47, an Uzi, 5 9mm pistols, and assortment ammunition. Congratulations to the Western Cape Police on that arrest. Blauberg stunned parents arrested. This one shared with me by someone from Kusatu, sharing the story with me in a coordination with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Arrested for sexual abuse of their 2 daughters, aged 3 and 8. The South African Police Service have arrested a Blauberg-Strand couple for allegedly producing child pornographic images featuring their daughters, aged 3 and 8. This makes my blood boil. The pair, aged 47 and 48, also face charges including the sexual abuse, rape, sexual assault, and sexual grooming of a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old. Police spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Amanda van Wyk said the operation leading to the arrest was conducted by a dedicated multidisciplinary team, including members of National Western Cape Serial and Electronic Crime Investigation Units, as well as vital backing from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Homeland Security Investigations here in America. Meticulous joint investigation efforts, authorities are able to locate the suspects' residence identified as central to the ongoing investigation. The girls have since been rescued and taken to a place of safety. The pair will appear in court and investigations continue. Who does this to a 3 and 8-year-old? Sick people. And you can see the person's white. Pervs. Well, South African macadamia nuts. Remember, I've covered that story back in 2020. It's a good news story back then, but now it's a bad news story. Why is it a bad news story? Because of the coming tariffs on South Africa, rising from 10% to 31% in just a matter of days, ladies and gentlemen. April 3rd, May 3rd, June 3rd, July 3rd, the tariffs will rise to 31% in South Africa. Why? Because there's no trade representative in D.C. negotiating with Washington, despite the lies of Cyril Ramaphosa. What is this? Pearl Whitby. Why am I not seeing her comments? I do not see this Pearl Whitboy. Where is Pearl Whitboy at? Someone said you're responding to Pearl Whitboy, but I do not see Pearl Whitboy's comments. Anyway, South African macadamia farmers eye the Asian markets after the U.S. terror jolt because now China is their top market. South Africa is the world's top producer of macadamia nuts, known for their distinctive buttery flavor and cherished by some for their perceived health benefits. And the U.S. is its second largest market after China. We're the largest market in the world. So Chinese with 1.5 billion people, I guess, have overtaken us. South African farmer groups have warned of potential devastation from the U.S. tariffs. Citrus growers whose annual exports to the U.S. average $100 million have said tariffs could potentially hit 35,000 jobs in their industry. Lekanya, a non-traditional macadamia nut farmer, has employed 78 people, and his business could come crashing to a collapse because of the negligence of Cyril Ramaphosa and his government in negotiating and operating in good faith with the United States. Zandile Gumeda's never-ending, never prosecuted, never convicted, endless trial over hundreds of charges, $320 million fraud case adjourned. The Durban High Court said it's left no choice but to postpone the $320 million Durban solid waste tender fraud case involving Zandile Gumeda on Wednesday morning due to the state not being able to access audit reports from the eThekwini municipality. The former mayor of the city is on trial with 21 others for numerous charges, including money laundering, racketeering, fraud, corruption, and contravention of the Municipal Finance Management Act and the Municipal Systems Act relating to $320 million tender. but they can't find the evidence. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Advocate Charles Minisi, the marathon man, the man who cares more about running the comrades than the pursuit of justice, the man who cares more about his personal accomplishments than his clients' life and death needs. Yeah, that's him. Advocate Charles Minisi finished the comrades. Yeah, instead of showing up to court. Advocate Charles Minisi is the defense lawyer in the Senzo Muia murder case. He crossed the finish line, completing the comrades. And there you go. In 10 hours and 42 minutes. Finished at 4:27. Average pace was 7-minute mile. Or kilometer, 7-minute kilometer. Not mile. And that's the points, all the checkpoints to start the 5 kilometer, all the way in. Came under a lot of fire, and this guy here says, I just saw Advocate Charles Minisi running a marathon here in Pinetown. The gentleman is more committed to this thing than to the Senzo Muia case. Agreed, 100%. 100%. Here he is finishing. There you go. The advocate who doesn't care about justice or his client. Manhunt intensifies for a suspect, an ex-Transnet employee linked to the whistleblower hit. Whistleblower report about a 4,500 Transnet freight rail tender markup is believed to have triggered a murder plot that claimed life of an innocent father. Remember that? Vereeniging engineer Aman Svart was shot 23 times in a case of mistaken identity and murdered by these people. Former Transnet employee Lucky Molefa remains a fugitive. Police are hunting for Lucky Molefa, a former Transnet freight rail employee, wanted for brazen whistleblower hit in April 2020 of last year. Of course, Armand wasn't the whistleblower. He was just an employee who was murdered, shot 23 times, father of 2, by this thug. And here's a picture of Armand, the victim. Yeah, but it's safe in South Africa. Yeah, it's safe there. He's been hiding since December of last year, and police have been searching for him. This man murdered in cold blood, just doing his job. Wasn't even the whistleblower. Zimbabwe will ban the export of lithium concentrates, deciding to do the material themselves in Zimbabwe. They'll ban the export of lithium concentrates starting in 2027 as it pushes for more local processing. Africa's top producer of lithium used in batteries to power renewable energy technologies banned the export in 2022 and has been pushing miners to process more domestically. So now the concentrates can't even leave the country. Rwanda has quit a Central Africa bloc after a dispute over the DRC. Rwanda says it will withdraw from the Economic Community of Central African States, ECAS, underscoring diplomatic tensions in the region over the offensive this year by Rwanda-backed M23 rebels. Kigali had expected to assume the chairmanship of the 11-member bloc at a meeting Saturday in Equatorial Guinea. Instead, the bloc kept Equatorial Guinea for the role, which Rwanda's foreign minister denounced as a violation of its rights. So, because they refused to turn over the chairmanship, Rwanda has left the group, and they should. Sudanese army accuses Libya's forces of a border attack. The Sudanese accused forces under Eastern Libyan military commander Khalifa Haftar of attacking border posts on Tuesday. First time it's accused its northwestern neighbor of direct involvement in the country's 2-year war. So now the Libyans are getting involved in Sudan and this crisis there. An Indian who illegally entered the United States was arrested, and people made big news about it. Well, until they found out he's illegal. Indian man who was pinned down at U.S. airport had entered the country illegally. According to sources, the individual's footage went viral on social media is from Haryana and was in the process of being deported from Newark's Liberty International Airport. A man filmed being pinned to the floor. The man whose name has not been disclosed was in transit at Newark when his behavior was deemed unfit for travel. He was restrained and subsequently admitted to a medical facility. Sources confirmed that he was deported once it was declared medically fit to travel. On June 8th, a video of the incident was posted by Kunal Yan, Indo-American social entrepreneur, who tweeted, I witnessed a young Indian student being deported from Newark last night, handcuffs, crying treated like a criminal. He came chasing dreams, not causing harm. As an NRI, I felt helpless and heartbroken. Well, Kunal Yan, you're a fool, and you've been exposed as a fool. You are a fool. You've been exposed as a fool. He's not a young Indian student. He's an illegal alien who violated our sovereignty and being treated like a criminal and handcuffed because, well, he is a criminal. And that's what you do with criminals. You handcuff them. Yeah. So this is the video he posted when he tried to get heartstrings. So I think Kunal needs to leave the country if this is the racist bullshit he wants to spread about America. So this is what he spread. So that's the video he put up for proof that the young man was innocent and was a student. No such thing. That's a lie. That information comes from an Indian website. Yeah. So more racist liars lying about America and our immigration. Junal, you can leave the country too. Okay? Take off. After, well, over 18 years is the prison sentence they're seeking for treasonous spies in Taiwan. Taipei prosecutors today indicted 4 former Democratic Progressive Party members for espionage, including an 18.5-year sentence for former counselor assistant Huang Chujing. The Taipei District Prosecutor's Office has been investigating allegations that the 4 members of that party and staffers, including Huang, had engaged in spy networks and leaked sensitive information to Chinese intelligence agents. Well, there you go. Taiwanese betraying Taiwanese. There you go. The Israeli Navy has attacked Yemen. Woo! In a first. This hasn't happened before. It's about time. Israeli Navy attacks rebel-held Yemeni port city of Hodeidah, first in a conflict. Israel's Navy attacked docks in Yemen's rebel-held port city of Hodeidah on Tuesday, launching its first seaborne assault against the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels while warning more would come. The attack likely damaged facilities that are key to aid shipments to the hungry, war-racked nation, but have also allegedly been used for weapons smuggling. They're not allegedly, they've been used for weapons smuggling, and that's why they're being attacked. Well, a French doctor says that the Israelis mistreated, they were abusive to Greta Thunberg. Did you know that? Poor Greta. You know, they gave them biscuits and sandwiches when they boarded their boat, and they all smiled. But apparently that was abusive. The Swedish climate retard and fellow boat criminals were mocked and deprived of sleep. Oh, says Baptiste André. Oh, they were mocked. Oh, my goodness. Well, you're only a fool if you don't mock this clown. Israeli authorities were abusive toward passengers of the humanitarian aid boat intercepted on its way to Gaza, which had on board Swedish climate dimbat Greta Thunberg. Baptiste André, who was on the boat, told reporters that there were no acts of physical violence. He witnessed Israeli border agents mock and deliberately deprive passengers of sleep, in particular Thunberg. Oh, so terrible. These criminals. Polish Prime Minister Tusk is facing a vote of no confidence. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has called for a vote of confidence in his pro-European government after his political camp narrowly lost the recent elections. Wednesday vote should be a formality because Tusk's coalition has a 12-seat majority. Well, we'll see if he holds that 12-seat majority after the snap election, or the vote. The vote of no confidence. Well, he's trying to get endorsement for his leftist ideas. Anti-immigration rallies taking place and property damage, which is not something we endorse, in Ireland. Ireland under siege with fully 1/4 of its population being criminal alien invaders. Anti-immigrant, anti-criminal rioting stretches into second night Northern Ireland. That's the UK. Home businesses and cars were attacked and 17 police officers injured during violence in Ballymena and several other areas. Of course, Northern Ireland known for its violence over the years. Second night of rioting in the town of Ballymena, Northern Ireland, Tuesday's anti-immigrant protests spread to several other areas, and the police warned of hate-fueled attacks. Well, yeah, because your government hates Irish, English, Scots, and Welsh, and you persecute Irish, English, Scots, and Welsh and Manx in favor of criminal aliens. So, piss off. Masked rioters, which shouldn't be doing that, in Northern Ireland attacked police and torch houses for a second night. This is unacceptable behavior. If you're unhappy with immigrants, get rid of the politicians that let them come in. Hundreds of masked rioters attacked police and set homes and cars on fire in Northern Irish town of Ballymena in the second successive night of disorder that followed a protest over alleged sexual assault in the town. 17 officers were injured, bringing 32 the number that hurt since the violence began. 2 14-year-old boys appeared in court today accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl. Charges were read to the teenagers via a Romanian interpreter. A Romanian interpreter. Gee, I wonder why. So, illegal aliens rape Irish girls, sexually assault them, and people are upset about that. But that's not the answer. Violence is not the answer, folks. Get rid of the politicians, legally, morally, legitimately. Hungarians protesting Viktor Orban's government. This is a new one. We haven't seen this before. Wow. About 15,000 protesters filled a square in Hungary's capital Tuesday in what organizers called the beginning of a resistance movement against Viktor Orban. This country doesn't belong to those who lie, who rob from the people, who sold their humanity for power. This country belongs to those who dare to think, who can read between the lines, who trust themselves and each other and believe there is a common, peaceful future that we must build together. Really? Interesting. It's the latest anti-government protest since Orban's party pushed through a law in March and a constitutional amendment the following month that effectively banned public LGBTQ events. Ah, that's what it's about. People want to promote homosexuality, and so they're upset that they're not being allowed to do that in public. Okay, I understand. Argentina's former president, Cristina Kirchner, is sentenced to prison. Supreme Court upheld a corruption conviction that would bar one of Argentina's top political figures from office. Fernandez de Kirchner rejected the ruling. Wow. 72-year-old was formally charged with corruption Tuesday and given 5 days to present herself before the court to be arrested. The ruling delivers a stunning blow to the woman who has personified the country's powerful Peronista movement and loomed large over Argentine society for 2 decades. She ruled Argentina from 2007 to 2015, following her husband Nestor Kirchner, and later served as vice president until 2023 election of Javier Milei. She's the head of a leftist justicialist party, the principal opposition to the right-wing Milei government. Isn't it paradoxical they enjoy absolute freedom to continue doing the same things, causing the same pain, the same suffering to the Argentine people, she said, the political right. They're free and I'm a prisoner. Well, you're a prisoner because you're a crook. That's why you're a prisoner. Canadian tourists are abandoning the United States. Too bad. So sad. Your problem. Canadians boycotting travel to the U.S. intensified May, cementing a massive economic loss for American tourism this year as visitors from all over the globe rethink travel to the United States. Number of Canadians taking road trips to the U.S., representing the majority of Canadians who visit, dropped by 38% last month compared to May of last year. It includes a 24% decline in air travelers from Canada year over year. Well, so I guess we shouldn't just go to Canada. Let's see how long their economy holds up. Stupid people. I still go to South Africa, even though it's dangerous. Trump says the U.S.-China deal is done, but he doesn't give any details. Trump said, subject to final approval from President Xi Jinping himself, the U.S. will get the rare earth metals it needs, while Chinese students can take up their places in American colleges. Earlier, the U.S. and China said they agreed in principle framework for de-escalating trade tensions between the world's two biggest economies. Well, I hope that Trump hasn't capitulated to the Chi-Coms. I hope he hasn't capitulated. Their behavior in a number of areas is suspect. A judge has denied gruesome Gavin Newsom's demand for an emergency effort to stop Trump's troop deployment. A judge has rejected California Governor gruesome Gavin Newsom's ask for an immediate order limiting President Trump's Los Angeles troop deployment, agreeing to first give the administration a chance to defend itself at a Thursday hearing before issuing an emergency ruling. There's no need to defend themselves. The law is clear. The law is clear. Title 10 U.S. Code allows the president to do what he did, as well as an 1878 law and a 1794 law. So Newsom has no legal standing here. He's an idiot. Protesters across the U.S. as anger grows over Trump's crackdown. No. See, this is bogus. Last night, our cities were put on fire around the country by coordinated, organized insurrectionists, and they need to be rounded up, arrested, prosecuted, and imprisoned for their actions. This is an organized insurrection, just like it was in 2020. It is not spontaneous. It's not protest and anger. Anyone that protests the removal of criminals from a country, there's something morally wrong with them. And anyone who says that people who cross our border illegally and drop their documents and lie about their identity to enter this country illegally just because they want a better life is a fool, is a fool, is a fool. Elon Musk says he regrets his criticism of Donald Trump. Told you that was going to blow over. Yeah, Elon Musk traded social barbs with President Trump, and he said Trump has no interest in repairing a relationship. Elon Musk said in a social media post early today that he regretted some of his posts and comments about President Trump last week, which led the president to disparage the tech billionaire. Yeah, so here's what he says. I regret some of my posts about President Trump last week. They went too far at 3:04 a.m. Perhaps when he sobered up. That's not enough, Elon. It's not enough. Well, it's about time. It's about time that foolish, dangerous, reckless members of Congress are held accountable for their conduct. And it's happening. Thank you to a prosecutor in New Jersey. Representative McIver indicted on 3 charges in clash outside the ICE detention center. Democrats have decried the charges as political retaliation and predicted Representative LaMonica McIver will be cleared in the court. Well, she may very well be cleared in the court because the courts are captured, but her conduct was criminal. and the charges are appropriate. A federal grand jury indicted Representative LaMonica McIver, a grand jury, not a prosecutor, for allegedly interfering with law enforcement during confrontation last month outside an immigration detention center in Newark. The unusual decision to bring federal charge against a congresswoman for a stand of which no one was injured reflects the Justice Department's pledge to prosecute officials who thinks it's hindering Trump's immigration enforcement efforts. McIver and other congressional Democrats have decried the charges as political retaliation and predicted the congresswoman will be cleared in court. Hey, McIver, orange is the new black. Enjoy your time in prison. Alina Habba, the interim U.S. attorney for New Jersey, filed a criminal complaint last month laying out the government's allegations against her stemming from a class she and other elected officials arrived to tour the detention center as part of what they call an oversight visit. They have no authority for oversight visits. There's no such thing. An indictment means prosecutors presented their case to a grand jury that found the government had enough probable cause, a much lower threshold than needed for a conviction. She's charged with 2 felonies, 1 misdemeanor count of assaulting, resisting, impeding, and interfering with a federal officer. According to the indictment, prosecutors allege she assaulted 2 officers as they attempted to arrest Newark Mayor Ross Baraka outside Delaney Hall. She is accused of slamming her forearm into the body of one officer and striking another with forearms. Will this thing get larger? I don't think it'll get larger. All right, so here it is.
Circle the mayor. What the? Circle the mayor. Circle the mayor.
Absolutely not.
Back up. When I call this call.
Congresswoman, is she's right in front of you. Congresswoman,
Get off the bus. Get off the bus.
get up!
Consequences for actions by arrogant asshat bigots in Congress. It's about time. Time to drain the swamp of these criminals. They think they can get away with whatever they want. McIver's attorneys declared that Congresswoman's innocence, said they would fight the charges. Yeah, good. Good luck fighting them. Caught on video. Assaulting people. Los Angeles police make mass arrest. Yay! As protesters defy the overnight curfew. Yes, long overdue. Police say groups congregating downtown curfew area amid anger over aggressive immigration raids. By the way, Karen Bass declared the curfew. The mayor, Karen Bass, the woman who called for people to go out and protest and attack federal facilities and federal law enforcement officials, is the one who called for the curfew, not federal officials. This is a Los Angeles imposed curfew. And people from the Los Angeles Police Department are the ones who do the arrest, not the military National Guard. Los Angeles police have announced they are making mass arrests in the city's downtown area. Good. I hope they arrest thousands. The mayor, Karen Bass, announced 10-hour curfew for the area where demonstrations have been continuing. It's not demonstrations. This is an insurrection. Anyway, there's the area. There's a curfew in central Los Angeles. Declared by Karen Bass, the insurrectionist herself. Well, here's an odd story. I don't really understand this one all. The world's largest TikTok star, Kaby Lame, a Senegalese who now has Italian citizenship, was voluntarily deported from the United States for overstaying a visa. But it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If he's an Italian citizen, he should have had 90 days to be here. World's largest TikTok star, Kaby Lame, leaves U.S. after ICE agents detain him. Italian Senegalese influencer with 162 million followers is swept up in Donald Trump's migration crackdown. It's not migration, you Ashifa Kassam, you lying sack of horse manure. They're criminal alien invaders. The world's most followed TikToker, Kaby Lame, has left the U.S. after being briefly detained. The social media star, whose legal name is Sherenge Kabane Lame, was detained last Friday in an airport in Las Vegas. He was released the same day and has since left the U.S. voluntarily. The spokesman said he arrived in the U.S. on April 30th and alleged that the influencer had overstayed the terms of his visa. How is that possible? If he came on April 30th, May 30th, June 30th, July 30th, you get 90 days as an Italian citizen to be here. I don't understand how he overstayed his stay. Trump's, U.S. immigration official said Lame, who is UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, as a following 162, has departed the U.S. and has been granted voluntary departure, allowing him to avoid being a deportation order. Bo Loudon, an 18-year-old who described himself as a pro-Trump influencer on his website, claimed that he was the one that flagged Lame's case to officials. I discovered that he was an illegal. How? And I personally took action to have him deported, claims the 18-year-old. I don't understand this case at all. It doesn't make any sense. Well, folks, get ready. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's a strawberry moon. Yeah, that's right. Look up and see June's full strawberry moon, the Milky Way, and multiple planets. Look at that plane flying in front of the moon. Pretty cool. It's Foster City, California, last year. June's full moon, nicknamed the Strawberry Moon, will shine brightly Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. The moon will be at its fullest at 3:44 a.m., but will still appear bright and low in the east after sunset on Tuesday, as well as low in the west opposite the sunrise on Wednesday morning. Wow. So we've already missed it. We've already missed it. It was 3:44 this morning. Damn it. I've already missed it. Hopefully it's still bright tonight. Real light tonight. Well, this is the wealthiest city in the world. What's the wealthiest city in the world? Anybody want to guess? Let's get some answers in the chat real quick. What is the wealthiest city in the world? Where are there more millionaires and billionaires than anywhere else in the world? Anybody? 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 Bueller? Somebody want to take a guess? Somebody? Anybody? Dubai? Good guess. And Monaco? Good guess. Joburg, New York, Singapore, Monte Carlo. Some good guess there. Santon, no way Santon. It's the Big Apple, ladies and gentlemen. The Big Apple. 384,500 millionaires and 66 billionaires. Wow. Wealthiest city in the world. Wow. According to the report, the Big Apple is home to 384,500 millionaires, 818 centimillionaires, that's 10 million, or 100 millionaires, excuse me. People have $100 million, and 66 billionaires. Wow. Concentration of wealth in Manhattan. 11 of the top 50 wealthiest cities in the world are in America. In America. A promising new HIV vaccine was making progress, and then Donald Trump stopped funding. I guess nobody in the private sector can do this research. I guess only America can do this research. No other country in the world. For nearly 15 years, Dennis Burton worked on a project aimed at solving what he calls one of the most difficult problems in biomedicine, creating HIV vaccine. I'm sorry. So you're on the verge of creating it, but it's taken you 15 years, and we're supposed to trust that you're on the verge. Yep, the program is funded by the National Institutes of Health and a 7-year grant of $258 million of my money. Yep, and now it's been stopped, and your feelings are hurt. Well, maybe you should come up with an alternate source of funding from the private sector. I mean, there are 30 million people with HIV around the world. That's a lot of money to be made from a vaccine to prevent people from getting HIV. So why don't you fund it that way instead of out of my tax pocket? NASA and partners delay the Axiom 4 mission. The official crew reports of Axiom Mission 4, private astronaut mission International Space Station, are pilot Shubhanushu Shukla from India, Commander Peggy Whitson, U.S. Mission Specialist Slaswa Wishnashki from Poland, and Tibor Kapu from Hungary. They're standing down the launch today to allow additional time for SpaceX teams to repair a liquid oxygen leak identified during post-static fire Falcon 9 rocket inspections. New launch date for the 4th private astronaut mission will be provided once repair work is complete, pending range availability. Peggy Whitson, former NASA astronaut and director of human spaceflight at Axiom, will command the commercial mission, while Indian Space Research Organization astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla will serve as the pilot. The crew will lift off on the SpaceX Dragon spacecraft on Falcon 9 from Launch Complex 39 Alpha at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida once the launch window is confirmed. And that's the news for today, folks. How are we doing there? 1,049 people currently, but just 536 likes. What's going on there? Come on, guys. Come on.
That was easy.
Hit the like button. It's free. It's free. All right, let me go back as far as I can in the chat and see what I've missed here. 8,000 is old data. What's this before the refugee program even opened up? 8,000 is a lie. That was never data. That was never the data. That's a lie. It's a fake news story with refugees. Van is here. I didn't know Van was here. Oh, there's Van. Van was very generous, man. Big donor to the program. Gave a lot of money to this channel. Even gave some to Ronaldo. My fellow worker who is black, lives in predominantly black areas in Malazi, earns $32,000 a month, gets free water, and there's also racism salary regarding billings. Okay. Marinda, okay. Do you have the number? You guys are talking about stuff I don't even know. Van says, 700 Rand. Anyways, I'm off. I watch you mostly offline. Thanks, Colonel. Good luck with things in the USA. Be safe. Well, thank you, Van, for the 700 Rand. Why are you off? Are you just here for the news? Thanks for being here. I hadn't seen you in the chat for a while, so that's why I was mentioning that. Wasn't looking for a super chat, but thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you so much for that. Nothing of value was lost. What are you guys talking about there? Oh, Canada, yeah. Tommy Robinson just got released 10 days ago, was on the podcast. Please give it a look. It's very important to all of us. PDB, Patrick Ben David. Is that what that is? I don't watch that show. Why is Canada doing the whole sour grapes thing? It is very childish, Leo. They removed U.S. bourbon and whiskey from their shelves. They're just a bunch of children. Yeah, we haven't removed anything from our shelves. I must pay astronomical money for some water. That's sad to hear, Rex. Good evening to the guys stream. Hello, Errol Abraham Kalk. Welcome to you. Lord Linkfist. The program is only officially open the 12th May. Any date before that is now ancient history. Correct. How would you know if they tried to call and Truth Caller blocked it? Well, Van, why would Truth Caller block your call when it comes from a verified number? The U.S. Embassy are verified numbers. Basic service charge, $700. YouTuber program, so all of you car guards know where all the cars come. Makes sense, says Van. Okay. Truecaller has been known to block legitimate numbers before. Okay, someone reported my business number, then now I can get cleared at Truecaller unless that pays. Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, it's like Apple. So a lot of people report problems signing up for Telegram and WhatsApp groups because people falsely report our groups as containing pornographic material. Apple has no control over the app. They have no right to do that. They block my business and they block other businesses on the word of liars, and they never check the channel. So I had that happen to a WhatsApp channel in which I invited people to it, and people, including Paulie, couldn't get onto it. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And they got a screenshot saying that until the channel removes its pornographic material, the channel's blocked. But everybody who had a Samsung Android could get on there. There was no pornographic material on it. The only person that could comment in the group was me and Hendo. There's no pornographic material. Also, they do this stuff where people are allowed into groups and then they post some pornographic material and then they falsely report you. Apple is an evil, racist, bigoted, scumbag, hateful organization that needs to be broken up and torn apart. Also, they need to be fined heavily for outsourcing their production to China. Yeah. Evil. They have no right to do that. No right whatsoever. They're blocking free speech illegitimately. I would never buy an Apple product for a telephone. It's an evil product. And those of you who have it, good luck to you. You are blocked from participating in many legitimate groups on applications because of Apple's arrogance. Chat GBT is not linked to the U.S. Embassy. Nope. Lucky Luke. What did Lucky Luke say? JJ Pretorius, what's going on, man? To the Americans watching this YouTube video, there is racism regarding the billings of water and electricity. Yeah, many people don't pay for it. Elon, the damage is done, but big ups for being man enough to apologize. Agreed, Lindy. Agreed 100%. The whole Elon and Trump thing was a distraction. People stopped talking about many things because of that. Yep. Where can we find more on the ground about safety of our kids if we go to the U.S. with school shootings? Oh, dear God. Well, first off, Christo, if you're worried about school shootings in America, then don't come. Don't come. Because you're obviously gullible and believe whatever you hear. We have hundreds of thousands of schools and a handful of school shootings. And every school shooting, every single school shooting has been in a school that has banned firearms. Every single one. And most of them have been exacerbated by poor response from law enforcement because they don't prepare for these things. They don't rehearse. They don't do drills. They're useless. So if Christo, if that's your concern, then don't come to America. You think your odds are better in a country where the murder rate is off the charts per capita, then stay in South Africa, man. Stay in South Africa. And kids are bullied everywhere in the world. So if you think you're going to escape bullying by coming here, you don't get it. Yeah, Elon and Donald need to go on a date. I agree. Where can we find... Okay. So that the Truecaller will be able to block U.S. Embassy. They don't have enough protection on their lines to secure the calls. I'm not sure. Hello, Troy. If you comments influence something, please. If people ask for links or proof where you got the info, please respond. Yep. Rex says, I can prove my charges. I queried it, and they processed a 400% increase in my basic supply charge. Escom show 100% increase. Well, that's crazy. Thank you, Peter von Skalkvik, for subscribing. Van says, does the embassy phone from the number on the website? Well, there are multiple numbers at the embassy, Van. There are hundreds of telephones at the embassy and hundreds of telephone numbers. Now, I don't know if they're all being routed to the switchboard. Don't know the answer. Don't know the answer. 2 weeks ago, Musk was seen as a savior by fellow South African citizens. Now we're all turning on him. Well, that's because you were all wrong. I told you from the very beginning, the reason for this has nothing with Elon Musk. You guys keep giving Elon Musk all this credit. Yay, Elon, he saved us. He didn't do anything. This has nothing to do with Elon Musk. The refugee program is not because of Elon Musk. I told you that all along. Anita says people are stupid. Yeah, some people are. Refugee talk went away. The tariffs, the Putin, everyone talks, got distracted by Elon. There are many other things. Yep. Maybe Truecaller got a tender recently. Good point. You smashed the like button. Well, not enough people. We have 1,065 people currently here and just 673 likes. You dratsida.
That was easy.
Stop sitting on the fence. Hit the like button. Saw the Marines this morning whilst employees were busy removing the graffiti from a federal building named after Reagan. Yep. According to Colonel, they don't email before calling, Maze, or I misunderstood. I don't recall saying that. Yeah, there you go. Patch just notes. Switchboard with many numbers and calls will come from another switchboard in another building. So, yep. No clue what the number will be used, but if, yeah, okay. Went to London in, what's this? And in one evening they spent 35 million. Who's that? Paul Mushtile? Well, you guys aren't even watching my program. You're just talking about your rates. Yeah, New York City. Let me skip past all that. When you're angry, it's better to stay quiet. Words say in the heat of the moment. Yeah, no, that's why when I'm angry, I type up an email, I save the draft, and I don't send it. It's the same thing with videos. Sometimes, like the video I did about that someone making a video here in the U.S. complaining, I had some really nasty things to say about that individual. I edited those out. I recorded it, and then I edited it out, so it never appeared in the published video. Just not smart. Yep. What's 300,000, JJ Pretorius? Oh, the number of millionaires. Yeah. New York might be the richest, but not the prettiest. That would be the Colonel's front yard. Oh, no, it's not. Dylan says we're done for. Yeah, Pearl Vidboy, there's Pearl, says America not surprising. Yeah, having all the millionaires, not surprising at all. It's the most successful country in the world. Van says, yeah, don't see myself removing Truecaller. I've been thinking of that. Yeah, I have Truecaller, but it doesn't work. It works sometimes. Russian HIV vaccine and side effects. Turned you into a cyborg. I don't know about that one. Charles, and I was on the verge of curing death. Exactly, Charles Van Onselen. Oh, my goodness. Exactly right, Charles Van Onselen. That's exactly right. It was so close, but Trump stopped me. I've been working on this for 37 years, and I was so close. Oh, my goodness. Okay, catching up on the chat, which looks like I'm behind. Don't see myself removing. Okay, that's where I was at. Kevin Morris is here. Welcome to you. Cobus Sten. Courthouse. Just an Okie from Muskogee. Okay. If they are so close to finding a vaccine, why don't they put up evidence and find a private investor? Exactly. Want to see more subscribers. Been stuck at 100,000. Yeah, I'm with you, PK. We've been stuck at 100,000. Yeah, we are stuck at 100,000, and it's been going for a while. It was the same thing at 99,000. So let me look at analytics here. We hit 100,000 on June 4th, I think it was. June 4th. Yep, we hit 100,000. And we hit 99,000 on June 1st. So from June 1st to now, we've gained 1,711 subscribers, 13 subscribers. So that's in 10 days. So that's 170 per day. That's not a particularly good growth prospect. But hey, stuff happens. Anyway. Garrett hit the like button and cracked his screen. Well, don't hit so hard. Van says, I'm out of here. Thanks for the 700 Rand. South Africa is the most crap-worth government in the world, driven by greed and incompetence. Hard to argue with that. Okay, the Austrian was a white Austrian, different from the rest. We understood with being told those schools were dangerous. Huh? Peter McCabe, welcome to you. Mark Kennedy, 5.6 per unit. No idea what that is. Armand, welcome to you. Thanks for the news today. For some reason, it seemed more pleasant or humorous. Well, perhaps it was. We didn't have the suicides and the murders that we talked about the past few days. But it's nice to have some form of confirmation after submitting the form. Well, Maze, I agree 100%. It would certainly make my life a lot easier. The thousands of messages I get. But Colonel, I never got a message. I told them that my husband didn't have a passport. Should I submit another statement of interest now that he has a passport? No. But I didn't get confirmation. You're not going to get one. 100% had to change setting to get access to your channel. Well, that's interesting, John. What setting do you have to change? Basic services are lacking, but we still have to pay the services. Yep. Carlos Fredo, welcome to you. Zest Quest. Yeah, my daily grandson, I haven't had time to make that video yet. I've been so busy. Maybe this afternoon I can make that video. Yeah, he's an idiot. Yep. Ray Cordier, good evening, Colonel. God bless you. Thank you for all your information. You're very welcome. I'm trying to find, if anybody has the link to when Ramaphosa was at the CEO conference, when he, on May 13th, I think it was, the CEO conference, Africa CEO or something like that, when he ran his mouth about the people that went to America aren't legitimate refugees. I can find that in another video, but I want to find the original video so I can use that. I need to make a video about that. Going to get a Samsung, says Quest. Okay. Time for old scum to be arrested. I agree. I prefer Samsung too. I've had Apple. They suck. I don't know why people love them. They're very industrial looking. The batteries don't last very long. Apple has a stranglehold on free speech. Paige Mitchell, 10 Rand Super Chat. Thank you for that. Truecaller is spyware. Well, all applications are spyware one way or another. Google can shut down countries. Yeah, well. Colonel Chris, how is it one of the only podcasts where wisdom drops harder than artillery? Thank you, Relaxing Positive Energy. Very kind of you. Howdy from the sandbox. Hey, welcome from Namibia, lying in the sand. What's going on, man? In my opinion, people should also teach kids that shooting is never okay. Yeah, well, this is the problem. When you have idiots that let 12-year-olds drive cars, they murder 14-year-olds. When you let idiots have firearms and you haven't taught them. I mean, I started using firearms at the age of 10. But before I ever touched a firearm, I got lengthy, very pointed discussions about safety and unloaded firearms and how to use a firearm. It just amazes me. Anyway, old school, don't believe in internet banking. Okay, you gave me a bank account to pay in person. I'll send you double. Just took my elderly mother. SADX Driving School. Well, I come to South Africa periodically. If you'd like to give a super chat in person, you're welcome to do that. I do accept super chats in person. It's nice of people to do that. So yeah, it's fine. I'm not here trying to get super chats, but if you'd like to contribute, appreciate it. Certainly cuts down my costs a little bit. It's very expensive to do this stuff. Went through the bios of Ramaphosa's dialogue group. I could take Harris, Bass, Newsom. That's the dialogue group. Oh my gosh, bunch of idiots. Quite happy with my little Samsung. These other phones, all their doodads. Yeah, I love my Samsung. How do I become a member, support the channel, paid member? Film with Hannes. If you want to do that, there is a should be a button below the video here. Let me get to it. Find it on the screen. Now I'm on PC, not on a phone, so it's different on phone than is here. So hang on a second. I'm surprised that so few people have actually watched the video about the interviews. Only 1,000 people watched that. It's been up for over an hour. That's not what I wanted. Come on, I want to see this on a channel. There we go. View on YouTube. Here we go. Okay, so view on YouTube. Come on. Okay, there should be a join button down here. Yeah, there it is. So on my PC, which is not a phone, a little bit different, on the bottom left-hand side down here. So that's an advert that wants to play. So right down here, it has a join button right there. Join. And there you go. Recruit, platoon leader, master. Hello, folks, and welcome to Chris Wyatt Africa. Look at that beard. Look at that beard. Look at that beard, man. 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 Sorry about that. They just kept echoing. So there's a join button down there. They just kept echoing. So there's a join button down there. They just kept echoing. So all right, now we're back. Gee, many crickets. Anyway, so that's because that's what happens when you have a window open. It just echoes what you're saying over and over again. Yeah, so the join button's down there if you want to join, okay? 3 SAPS members arrested. Yep. So a morning shot that Nelson Mandela's son will have refugees arrested. Yeah, that's an old story from a day or two ago, which I haven't had time to make a video about yet. Napoleon says Apple products appear in every aspect of anything Android. No, Apple doesn't have picture-in-picture. Doesn't have picture-in-picture. Nope. Or maybe they have it now, but Android had it 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Yep. Picture-in-picture. Let's see if I can get this bad boy up. Here we go. Gallery. So I want camera. I want picture-in-picture more. Director's cut. There's the director's thing. Director's view. There we go. There you go. So yeah. So there you go. See that? Look at that. Look at that. Director's view. You can record and have this any way you want. So I got two cameras, a front camera and a back-facing camera. Look at that. Yeah, you can't do that. Well, maybe you can do it now on Apple, but you couldn't do it before. Couldn't do it before. No, Samsung always leads the way with technology and innovation, not Apple. They're just copycats. Got called a white piece of crap because I'm doing my own gardening. That's interesting, Peter. Why? Because somebody doesn't get a job being a gardener? Set when people burn the USA flag. Well, so am I, Cobus. Odette DeYager gave me 35 Rand super chat. Richard Lambert says, do you think Malema will be arrested? Yeah, I do. If he comes to the U.S., I think he'll be arrested. Pausing so I can watch the rest and go back. Have a good evening. Thank you, Werner. I think my comment was removed. It was a compliment, but maybe interpreted otherwise. I didn't see your comment there, Antoinette Homan. Didn't see it. Flooding, not new issue every winter. Yeah, I know, but people keep building next to floodplains. Werner Fundamental gave some memberships. Multitasking says to be safe. And then we had after the, God bless. How far back is that? Okay, Odetta got that. Oh, Madeline gave a 70 Rand super chat. Thank you for that, Madeline. Just my imagination, did you quiet after the warrant from the UK? Well, there is no warrant from the UK, Pete Funderland, and that's fake news. We type as we listen to you. We are non-dead back doorknobs, South Africans. We are here and we don't do cock prod. Thank you, Patches. Evening, Colonel. If people can't be a little bit patient, then I don't know all the good things come those way. Chris, this weekend is the G7 and Sarah wants to talk to Trump regarding tariffs. Well, good luck with that, but he has no business being at G7. PK likes Linux. The rubbish removal service is outside now picking up my rubbish from the bin. Something I'm paying way too much for. It used to cost me $50 a month. Now it's over 90, not a month, $50 a quarter. Now it's $90 a quarter. Smart Art says 100,000 thanks to Ronaldo. No, that's not. That's fake news. Do I still do the morning cast? I do, Lee Erasmus, but no one's watching it. Almost no one. So the interest has dropped off, and so I have not done it every day. I was intending to do it during the week now. But when, it's, so let me see. The last one was, it says 3,500 people showed up compared to 12,000 I had for my news program. Now I'll still do it. That's a lot. I'm not dismissive, but I lost 2 subscribers from the last one. It doesn't make any sense. I lost 2 subscribers, 2,000 views on it. Yeah. But now it's 3,500. So yeah, I do them, but it's a big ask for me. And last night, I was going to do it, but, I started watching The Accountant 2 on Amazon Prime, and it was pretty good. Pretty good. 9 years later, 9 years after I made the first one, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed watching it. So I didn't finish that until after midnight, and I wasn't going to do a stream. So I still do it, but people need to show up. It's great to have a small audience, but we're trying to get the word out. But yeah, that's I still do it. Yeah, absolutely. I just haven't done it every night. Last week, I couldn't do it for a couple of reasons. And then over the weekend, I couldn't do it. And so anyway, but yeah, I still do it. Let me see. How many times have I done it recently? So the Night Owls. I did it on the 10th. I did it, which was the night before. I did it on the 7th. I did it on the 5th. I did it on the 4th. I did it on the 3rd. And the audiences have gotten smaller and smaller. Over 5,000 on every one, and now it's dropped down. 6,000 back on the 2nd of June. And 5,500 on the 1st of June. So the audience has dropped from over 6,000 or 5,500 every time to 2,000 or 1,500. It's not very encouraging when you're trying to reach people that you get smaller audiences. But I've done audiences for 50 people. So I've done live streams for 50 people. So that's not the issue. But when I've got something else that's important to do, which has been the case, although not last night, I got caught up in the movie. But in the other nights, when I've got something important to do, or an event I have to be up for early in the morning, I have to make a value judgment of whether it's worth the time or not. Peter Pumpkin here, 14 Rand, looking for 3 lucky numbers between 1 and 52. What is this, a lottery? Your videos are popping all over my broadband forum discussions. You got some champions there smashing fake news on the head of your behalf. What are your broadband forum? What is that, Virtual Western Cape? Your broadband forum. I don't know what that is. Thank you. Well, good. I'm glad people are talking about it. Hopefully it'll drive people here. Too worried about the growth, the correct and factual information you pass on, just where it's important. Well, Conrad, I appreciate that. That's great for you. You know the channel. But millions of people don't know the channel. Millions of people don't know the content. Most people who get introduced to the content tend to subscribe as long as they have a YouTube account. So, that's what we're striving for. The bigger the audience, the more ad revenue, the more money is available for me to improve things, the more money is available for me to travel more frequently. And more importantly, the larger audience we reach with the truth. Candace gave 3 numbers. Yeah, the ANC was on the verge of curing racism for 30 years. They just needed more funding. Exactly. You spoke to Sai. She's all good. Where's she at? Where's she at there, Steve Newbold? Elmarie Puth, 40 Rand. Thank you. Love your videos and news stories. Thank you. YouTube refugees abandoned, left, starving, what a crock. See, this is what's frustrating for me. Clarence, not picking on you, but I did a video on that. So here we go. Just yesterday, I published this video. That one's actually done pretty well. It's the best video I've had in the last week. It's at 67,000 views. And it's still growing a little bit, but not as fast as I'd like it to. So I did a video on this. See, this is what's frustrating. People don't see my videos. Why don't you see this video? You should have seen that if you subscribe to this channel. I'm not picking on you, but I'm saying YouTube should have put it up there for you to see. So yeah, Clarence, I have seen it. I did a video on it, brother. Here you go. Struggling South African refugees. Hey folks, welcome back. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. And a very disturbing trend, which isn't surprising, is cropping up here in the States more and more frequently. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these words correctly in Afrikaans, but basically, leuenaars, bedriegers, and uitreders. So, liars, frauds, and betrayers. These are South Africans who, for whatever reason, are misleading, lying to other South Africans about the refugee program. Now, a lot of it, of course, on the South African side, but we're seeing it more and more on this side. We're seeing it from black racists in America who are making stupid videos about the refugee program, and now we're seeing it from a number of white South Africans who are already over here, approximately 120,000 white South Africans, or 120,000 South Africans, she's not white, but most of them white, living in America already before the refugee program kicked off. And apparently some of these people are bumhurt that they spent thousands of dollars to come over here and get a job and lived here for a period of time and paid a lot of money for their green card. And they're bumhurt that President Trump has offered refugee status to people. And so they distort and lie about stories. Now, I have no intention of making some of these people famous, but some of these videos are just absolutely ridiculous and asinine. Now, I wrote to one of the producers of video on a TikTok account a short while ago to ask where they heard. Now, this person said that there's a family, according to a Facebook group, that's living in a hotel that's refugees who have no food, no money, and they've been abandoned there and no one's helping them.
What you talking about, Willis?
And the content creators said, well, should I feel bad for them? Humanitarian in me. And then the person shows their true feelings as they go on and moan about how they did it the right way and how they got to come over here. Well, circumstances change and conditions change in the world. The world is... Yeah, so I made that video. I've discussed that already. Thank you for that. And that's my frustration, is that people don't know about it. And we could have 300,000 views on that. But thank you for sharing that you didn't know by asking me if I knew about it, because I'm the one that reported that video, because one of my viewers found that video and that person has like 400 followers. And anyway, so I didn't put the video up because I didn't want to give that person any airtime. But then that person hasn't said anything about me yet, but the Jules did. So the Gideon Budget guy sent out emails telling people if they could take more than 500 days just to do interviews, well, it might be his opinion. Are you talking about the spreadsheet? Okay, is that what you're talking, Anna Marie? Pat's Pat, thank you for the 14 Rand. I'll have to talk to Gideon about that then. Gideon Fundamental, is that what you're talking about? Because he's asking to put my name on there, and I said, don't put my name on it. I didn't. Someone sent me a screenshot, and they said it was an email. I have no idea what it is. So anyway, my point was that the analysis is flawed on that. That's a good spreadsheet, but I didn't see that. I didn't get that information. Do you think they'll do interviews in Cape Town? I have no idea, Billy. I would hope they would. I also would hope they do interviews in Durban, Port Elizabeth, Uppington, Nelspruit, Bloemfontein, and Petersburg. That's what I would hope, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Now, look, if you want to leave, you're going to have to make a plan. So, South African government just put sand in their own food by signing the land issue. It's getting more exposed. Yep. Blackview is amazing. What is Blackview, Lorraine? Don't want anything else but a Blackview, the best phone. What the hell is a Blackview phone? Never heard of Blackview. Blackview. What is this? Some kind of advertising? You guys pushing some, hawking some phone? Blackview phone. What the hell is a Blackview? Cool and rugged phones. What is this, from China? Never heard of it. Looking at it now. Never heard of it. Blackview. Rugged phone. Let's see where they're. God bless. When does this stupid page end? Company profile. Here we go. Based in China. No, thank you. No, thank you. You can keep your Chinese crap. I'll pass. I'll pass. No, thank you. John says settings, privacy, security, sensitive content, and disabling filter. Is that for an Apple? Quiz just watched it. Okay, cool. Miguel Fundavestoisen, welcome to you. Wasting Dam. I've been mulling over the question as to why President Trump didn't interrogate Rama. Well, you don't know that he did mental chewing gum. You don't know that. You don't know that. We don't see what happened behind closed doors. Got an iPhone, but we're going back to Android after the experience. Yeah. I don't think I missed any of your videos. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. The ignorance of the ethnic cleansing of Christian Nigerians is a clear sign of Islamic superiority in Christianity, whether like it's not superiority, it's a cover-up is what it is. My wife left work at 5 p.m., only 15 kilometers away, still not home. Ugh, jeez. Me too. On my Opus Plus, he was very strict in safety. Had to use a breaker action pellet for so long. Got used to shooting 22. Yep. And Anne-Marie Nell says, I'll try again. I sent you a WhatsApp. That construction site is going to become a ghost site. Money is going to go missing. Okay, Anne-Marie. I don't see any messages. Oh, there, Anne-Marie. You sent it to me. Gotcha. Thank you. I got Anne-Marie. That beard looks like you were about to pull out a flintlock. Oh, that one I showed you, yeah. Thanks for the info about school shootings. To give some more research on. Yeah, no, Christo, it's way overblown. I don't know of any school shootings, even in my state, if there has been one in a state of 13 million people. I haven't even heard of one. Expat family Joubert says, states don't feel dangerous to me. Meat exaggerates. Yep. A woman can safely travel alone from Harrisburg to JFK by train. Yep, that's true. That's true. For those who want to be prevented from Telegram groups, when you get the message that moderators are removing porn, but works on Android. What else we got here? It looks like a copy iPhone. Yeah, exactly. I'm impressed. Actually said Petersburg. Yes, I did say Petersburg. Yes, not Polokwane. I was going to say that it's a terrible thing to use a Chinese phone, but isn't Samsung? No, it's not, Jaden. Samsung is Korean, made in South Korea. Yep, made in South Korea, not Chinese. Alan McGonigal gave a super chat. A 14 rand. Cripple. Who's a cripple? Me? Thank you. How do you confuse the leftists? Put them in charge of a budget and tell them it's their own money. They don't know that. My goodness. Anyway, what else we got here? We're going to wrap up here shortly. Let me get this set up here. We got 992 people. We still haven't hit 1,000 likes. What's up with that, folks? What's with no likes today? We've had 5,300 people watch the program, but only 900 likes. That's crazy. Samsung phones are made in Vietnam. Oh, the ones in South Africa? Maybe. I don't know. Mine's made in Korea. It's made in Korea. Absolutely the case. Yeah, so made in Korea, folks. Made in Korea. Anyway, Apple crapple. Says Alan 14 Rand. Thank you for that. Really enjoyed the interview with Sam also. I did that a long time ago. I think it was the first one. It was the first interview he did. It was the first interview I did. Cornell, if me and my fiance live together, or Colonel, for the past 4 years, raised my daughter, will she be placed together with me if I'm my app and her as her dependent? Huh? Stefan, what you need to do is list everyone that's in the family as a family, but understand that your fiance is probably going to have to apply on her own. But list them on your family. These are all the people in your family. And when they ask you, say, well, this is my fiance. And they'll say, well, she's not married. You're going to have to get married. Maybe they'll say that. I don't know. But list them on there. As far as who gets the daughter, it's whichever one you want to claim the daughter. And if you're the head of household, just claim the daughter on there. Nella Schmidt. But then if they let you go and not her go initially, she's going to have to give you legal paperwork to let you take the child with you. Nella Schmidt says, application for Colonel PA submitted. Nella. Nice try. And Con de Brun says, it's amazing. When I was in the process to immigrate, there were 150 families in Charlotte. Church tried to connect us, and they treat us as lepers. Well, that's unreal there, Con. What church was that? And shame on them. Yep. Okay. Nelia, excuse me, not Nella, Nelia. Okay. If you PA, it's going to have to be Mahala. Okay. Unplugged phone. What is an unplugged phone? I have no idea what an unplugged phone is. Okay, Yolanda von Rensburg, good to see you there. Don't forget the Wednesdays. I haven't forgot it. It's 5 minutes away. So we're going to wrap up here, folks. You'll be redirected to Wednesdays with the Colonel on Ronaldo's channel. And what's going on over here? People sending me text messages like the freaking world is blowing up. That's about tonight's show. Okay. I don't have that. Okay, someone wants something from me I don't have. All right, see you guys on Ronaldo. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Yeah, all right. Cheers, and we'll see you over there.